almost halfway there. We're on slides 36 through 44, and there are 82 slides. Okay, so we're almost there. All right, we are going to be grouping records in a pivot table. Okay, so normally data in pivot tables gets grouped based on hierarchy inherent in the data. So like country or region would be above state and province, which would be above cities. Like it would go in that hierarchy. But we may want to group things differently. Okay, so we can do that. So we're going to have our pivot table solution ones open. If you don't already, we're going to select the groupings worksheet. So this third one over here that I'm already on. If it isn't already selected, if you added the timeline slicer in the previous section, click clear filter button. So we're not getting rid of the filter, we're just clearing it so it shows all the information again. Right click any date in column A of the pivot table and select group. Okay. Notice the grouping dialog box runs from January 1, 2008 to January 1, 2018. It's worth noting that even though the highest date value in the date column is 31 December 17, Excel's grouping dialog box populates the ending at the next day. Oh, like the last day is actually like December 31st, but it just puts it at the next day. Okay, so we're going to select months and press OK. So this shrunk down the data by months for us. Okay, notice that even though we have 10 years worth of data, our pivot table now contains only 12 rows of data containing like all of the Januaries together, the Februaries, and this can help you notice trends throughout the year, even though like we may have different years of data. Like we have 10 years of data, we can see like when some months and some products are doing really well compared to others. Like there might be a lull in February and your business can take a look and see why and perhaps offer future promotions. Right click any of the cells containing a month heading and select group. Okay, select both years and months and press OK. All right, so now we have like the years and the months underneath it. Click the Pivot Tools Analyze tab, and then in the group, that looks weird, group, click the group section button. We can also get here through there. Change the text in B4 to group 1. What? Click group selection button. Oh, sorry, I missed a step. Select B4 through C4. B4 through C4. Group selection. Instead of group 1, we're going to call this group D. All right, and then we're going to continue that on. So we did doodads and doohickeys. Now we're going to do gadgets and gizmos, group selection. And instead of group 2, this is going to be group G because of the titles. Then we're going to do thingamabobs and thingamajigs. We're going to group this selection, and instead of group 3, group T. And then we're going to do the same thing with widgets and woozles, group selection. And instead of group 4, this will be group W. All right, I'm now on slide 39. It says click the Pivot Tables Tools Design tab. So this guy right up here. And under Layout, click this Subtotals button. Show all subtotals atop of group. Analysis in the show group. Ensure that this is selected, the toggle button. Click under Group D, Group G, 2008, 2009. So we can see like group totals here for the whole year. Like we can shrink down our data and condense it. Compare your pivot table to the next slide. So this looks the same. All right. Right click anywhere on the row header cells in column A. The one containing the year or month, and go to expand collapse, collapse entire field. Okay. Save. And now we're moving on to, sorry, my keyboard is being squeaky here. Using the get pivot data function. Okay, so this function can pull data from a pivot table, so you can reference the data in a location outside of the pivot table, either on the same worksheet or in another worksheet. So we're on our pivot table solution one still. We're going to select the products worksheet here. These assignments you really have to do in order because this wouldn't be there if you were to just open it up. Select the products worksheet. Okay, we did that. In J5. Okay, J5. Type Gizmos Midwest. South. And down an 8 total northeast. These labels will identify the get pivot data function results in the following steps. Widen column J to fit the data. Okay. In K5, so back up here, in K5, type equals click C8 in the pivot table. So you'll see all of this pop up in there. And press Control Enter. This is a shortcut for entering the get pivot data function. Notice the function in the formula bar. Okay, so get pivot data, like this pulled all of that by just hitting Control Enter. So we're gonna do the same thing here. In K6, we're gonna do equals, click F11, so this one right here, Control Enter, and total northeast. D13, Control Enter. Apply the comma format 0 decimals to the entry, these entries. So I'm just going to hold on to Control so I can select all of these, open this up, make sure that we're on number, no decimal places, use the comma separator. All right. Slide 43, select cells K5. and compare your results with the figure below. Refer to the function in the formula bar. The result in K5 displays the units sold based. Yeah, it shows all of this. All right, last slide. In cell B1, currently shows all in this filter. Click the filter drop down and choose Ichabod Crane. I don't see these people. I'm gonna pick Kevin this time and press OK. Now the function results in column K reflect only the units sold by Ichabod. So I'm getting an error because he didn't sell any of those gizmos. But if I go to, say, Daniel did sell some gizmos in the Midwest, but he did not sell widgets in the South, and he didn't have a total for the Northeast because he didn't sell anything there. We're going to go back to all. Save and close, and we are all set with this one.